Alrighty. Oops. Little technical difficulties here. Alrighty, and thank you for joining us today at TAKTEK Fab Lab. I am Tak the Technomancer here at TAKTEK 3D, and we are doing a controller upgrade video. We have this nice Elite 2 controller, which is Jack the Lore Master's personal controller that we will be modifying today. It seems to have some form of stick drift. So we'll be putting Hall effect sensors in there since it has been about that time, and we have a personal annoyance with some of the materials that is used in this controller. The plastic in this controller just doesn't seem to hold up over time. It definitely can't seem to meet 2 years even. And with that, essentially, if any normal person were to have this controller and be like, oh, look at this crack, look at this, they would end up replacing this controller instead of fixing it. Just because the shell is ultimately damaged, whereas none of the electronics are really all that bad. They're still usable, so that would be it. To prevent bad plastics from entering the environment, we're going to increase e-waste significantly with this process. So we should be allowed certain illicit plastics that would be much better, certain plastics that are based on petrochemicals, that would last a lot longer than the current state of where plastics are at. I don't know what this rubber material is made out of, if this is some kind of TPU or what we got going on here, but there's a crack right there in the plastic itself. So we're going to be replacing the shell on this, as well as giving it Hall effect sensor joysticks. So firstly, let's pop over and look at our issue here. So let's connect this up. Come on, recognize it, there it is. Bro, you have an Xbox 360 controller? I thought this was an Elite 2. No. Why do we got no input? There we go. All right, yeah, you definitely have. So that's stick drift right there. So like this is your dead center, this is 0002, right? And then, so there, it's not going back to 0, not going back to 0, not going back to 0. That's really bad right there.
That's really cool.
So you can see it right there. Yeah, I love this hardware tester thing. So yeah, same thing's happening over here. But yeah, this is just the linear switches. They end up dying over time.
Yeah. I've never seen something like this before. This is really neat.
So yeah, you can test if you're actually reaching all the way. So yeah, so.
15.6 and 9.6%.
Yeah, so your movement suffers, this suffers.
I remember there's some points when I was just like, what was it, like hard pushing it in a direction and just like refused to accept it at all. So there'd be times I'd be running away or trying to trace an opponent, and I just couldn't.
I like that the more I trace it, the more it goes up. Like, yeah, so there's probably like Alright.
15.2 and 11.6.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna try to be fixing here.
RIP my controllers.
And then yeah, the fact that you
I sweat hard.
don't seem to go dead center, especially on your left stick.
Yeah, I do drift a lot in that way. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, that one's a bad one. But yeah, it's just like stuck right below the X axis right here. So yeah. We have, in a sense, confirmed stick drift. We have an average error of 15.2 on the left and 11.7 on the right. And this is an Xbox 360 controller. No. I wonder why it doesn't recognize it as the Elite.
Only because it's like running a hardware from the 360 garage.
All right. So let's switch back over. Alrighty, so firstly, we have the frame that we are replacing. Nice all black frame here. And we got this off Amazon. And at some point we'll be putting the links down below. We have the bezel right here. Let's see if you can see the reflection right here. There you go. And that looks pretty legit. All of the inner markings from the cast look pretty good too. And then we got the faceplate here. Got the inner markings on there. Let's see. So these look legit in my opinion. So let's move that over there. Let's get this disassembled. So how do you turn one of these off? Oh, I can just use I was gonna say, how do you turn one of these off when you don't have access to the console? Alrighty. So I really hate the construction of this controller at times, but you just got to pull off the faceplate without breaking any of the snaps. Look.
Harder because I've glued a few places.
And apparently we have some glue in a few places as well, but let's grab the corner here. Let's pop these bad boys off, put them in a safe place so they don't get lost, as they do constantly. They like to enter little voids of nowhere. Alright. And unlike the other normal controller, I don't have the screw panel right here. So this is just full plate clip-ins that somehow keep this construction all together. Oh, that piece came off. Seems like this is like the one clip that's intact right here. There you go.
I apologize if I made it more difficult for you.
It's skeleton face.
Oh no, it's running naked! Little kids, little boys, cover your eyes!
No, I think the only thing that made it difficult was that it broke. Yeah, no, that's my laugh of that one for some reason. I realized that the other day. Because when I do that laugh, it basically is that.
I've heard you do it. I've been mocking myself as of late. Also, I want to take a look at my
Is this gun?
motors. Whatever the Joy-Cons.
Apparently little glue gun motors. These ones. What about them?
Why is the Okay, the one on the right is significantly smaller than the one on the left. Do you see that?
Yeah, I have no idea why they're like that.
Okay. I don't know. I just wanted to inspect and make sure that there's nothing faulty about them. They seem okay. I don't know. I'll stop operating over your shoulder.
No, now I want to know why. Let's see what Gemini has to say about this. Because Gemini's always right, right, Google? Why am I doing that? I literally have the app. Why my left vibration in my controller thicker than my right vibration motor? There. Near comprehensible English. It's not a defect. Most modern controllers, like those for Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, are designed with asymmetrical vibration motors to provide a wider range of tactile feedback. The difference in size and weight between the two motors allow the controller to simulate different types of physical sensation. The heavy hitter, left side. The left motor usually features a larger, heavier weighted plate. Function: it creates a low-frequency, intense rumble. This is what you feel during large explosion, heavy crashes, or when a giant character walks nearby. It's designed to vibrate the entire shell to simulate power. The precision detailer, the right side. The right motor typically has a smaller, lighter weight. Function: it creates high-frequency, subtle shivers or sharp pulses. This is used for more delicate feedback, like the click of a lock, the hum of a light engine, or the zip of the menu selection. Thank you, Gemini. This is not officially sponsored. Please, Gemini, sponsor this. But anyway, so we have this faceplate. We're going to remove the inner housing away from the outer shell. And we got this lovely thing. Part of me just thinks I should just use the original drivers that I got when I did the shell replacement for my controller. But my fingers are a little tired today. You got a piece of broken controller right here. Let's just knock that out. Oh. To blow the crap out of this at some point.
Need tweezers?
I don't need tweezers. Not yet, but I love that that's so tightened in. I can't even. So like the max torque setting, that was like the third. Not going very good for these Amazon drivers, you know. We're just gonna keep buying Amazon drivers until we figure out which one is actually the best. Look at that one. Can't even. It's just so torqued in there. I wonder if this is the glue's fault. It's spinning. Like it's just not torqued. I literally have to like manually. This is what the manual called the manual mode. Since I like reading the manual, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, it called it manual mode. I was like, oh wow, fancy.
It's pretty sad when it has a setting for manual use.
It reminded me of the.
Which using you as manual mode.
It reminded me of that drunk comedian that you like to watch or listen to.
Mitch Hedberg?
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg with the escalator thing. It's like when it breaks, it's not broken. It's temporarily.
I love an escalator, man, because an escalator can never break. It can only become stairs. You'll never say an escalator temporarily out of order sign. Only an escalator temporarily stairs.
Yeah.
Sorry for the convenience.
Sorry for the convenience. That's the wrong one. Might as well just give you a mic.
The funny thing is, I'm actually watching the levels. I think you're picking up my dialogue regardless.
Oh, cool.
Just a little less than, but I'm there.
That's okay. That works for me. Unless you want a mic.
Yeah, why not? I'll mic up.
I love the convenience of these mics, especially when we're on the same channel.
It is really convenient.
Okay, we got out those screws. We need a few more. Here's another outside screw. Let's see if the max torque. Oh, max torque can't spin that. All right, Ekrabber or Ekraba, E-Crabber. E-Crabber, is that your name? See, it just makes me think of like the Aladdin song, or like the what of the Ekrabar? Akrabar?
Agrabah.
Agrabah. That's what I'm thinking of, Agrabah.
It's like the city of Agrabah, whatever. It's like where the whole thing takes place.
The city
right?
of Agrabar.
The city of Ekrobur. That is a pretty bad one.
Oh, you know what I did forget to start? I definitely forgot to start the actual, like, this video right here. So we have those 4, and I believe it's these 2 up here as well. See if I can spin these. No, see, these ones are just very, like, friction fitted. And they just do not like to spin based on the torque of this motor. Let's see. There's a little bit of, oh, there we go.
So you just gotta get started manually, and then the drive will take over.
The first use. Let's see, full power. Nope. Aw, does not like that at all. Alright, we got 6 screws out. And then that separates that housing from the back shell. So we're actually going to have to go even deeper. Hey, just to note, there's dog hair in this as well. just so you know, it gets that far everywhere.
That does not surprise me.
I could understand it being like on, like in the plates and whatnot, but the fact that it's like so far into the electronics
Deep
is
into
concerning.
it.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna pass over you.
I wonder if this has any charge left.
Passing over you again. Did not want to go back into place. Sorry, I tried.
You're fine.
I love that wall though. That wall's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I keep putting stuff under it, so that's why it doesn't want to go back. So I really love the way they designed this controller in the sense that this battery is part of this, and it uses these contact plates to transfer what it needs to over to this side. It also means when you work on any electronics on this side, the battery is not part of it anymore, so therefore none of this is charged, and you're free to work on it without worrying about any shorts or anything like that. Alrighty, so we got, it seems, all of the fuzz out of this. So we need to pull these plates off of here. And then for the back shell, we have to transfer the electronics off of here onto this. Why does it just say United States? Alrighty, so we have really small bits in this one. So we are going to be removing what seems like these points right here, these here, those there, transferring onto this one, and then these are those. And it seems like we got little buttons here. And then we also got little replacement tabs for those. So this kit does come with a fair decent amount of tools if you did want the tools. It comes with a pair of tweezers. For everything you need. Has a little spudger tool. Nice pair of tweezers. And then you need these 4 little buttons. Unless Oni-chan wants to keep his gray buttons.
Sorry?
I said unless Oni-chan wants to keep his gray buttons.
Sorry, I was focusing on something else.
Got a big old bag of screws and a little shim tool for triangular fun. If you want the black ones or if you want to keep your little gray ones.
Gotcha. How about putting the gray ones on the black shell?
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah, keeping your little gray ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the gray ones, put them on the black one, because I think that would at least have some color difference. A little sad about losing the gray, so we'll at least keep the legacy.
I think that'd be easier just to pop you out like that. Sometimes you just gotta use your best tools. I know I have smaller bits. Let's see, there they are. So that seems to fit about right. And apparently we have magnets as well. So I'm going to take off these two. I'm going to attempt to anyway. Okay, and then that should give us this board right here. And you see those are the little buttons right there. So yeah, these buttons definitely look factory.
Burn.
So it's cool to know that we managed to get a genuine show on what I would assume be like a third-party seller, you know?
I'm very thankful that it's not third party. I'll take that saving grace.
So that is that one. We're gonna transfer these over. So we're gonna put our little buttons, the gray ones, into here. See, this is what I like most about live customization. When I have the customer in front of me, I'm able to ask live decision choices that make each controller more unique. You know, Shopify limits you on how many customization options you're allowed to put in your shop, and it's kind of annoying. This. Alrighty, look at how neat that looks. Alrighty. We're going to be putting this right where it goes in here. Got a little notch right there, if you can see. That helps you align this. And then there's the peg right there and the peg right there. That helps you align it as well. What was that? I'm just gonna start that. It seems to need to find its way a little bit. There we go. Got that one on. And then the next screw goes right there. Alrighty, now that's pretty good there. Just you don't want it to move at all, but obviously you don't want to over tighten things and break parts. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the light on this screwdriver as well is not very helpful at all. You can see right there. Alright, we're going to pull that out. Now granted, I do have a lot of light going, so maybe this would be more helpful for the guy who's like doing all of his electronics in the dark for some reason. Maybe he's in some shack somewhere that doesn't have any lighting. They don't have power. He's powering his, 5090 off of gasoline generators. Alrighty, so we got this board. Pops out. Want to pop those in. Don't want to forget about those. Nudge that in place. Nudge that in place. There we go. And then the board. So the annoying thing is with the new shell, you always have to start the screw a little bit. So let's pump this up. Right. The other screw. Wait. Alrighty, that's secure. And then we have these two magnets here. So It doesn't seem like they're clipped in place. My question is, are they glued at all? So I guess this Chinese spudger tool is perfect for figuring this one out. We got the line right here so we can match the lines. Oh, it seems to lift right out. There we go. So we don't got a line on the other side. And then we're going to insert it into the new one. And it seems to just friction hold there, actually. Like there's nothing that actually, yeah, it's just friction held by this little component right here. And it just goes right in. Yeah, just remember to keep those lines where they were. So thank you, Chinese spudger tool. I have to go get my own out. See how brittle this plastic sounds? It's just absolutely embarrassing almost, I feel like. It's like you can just squeeze it and like you can see all the cracks on the inside here. Bro, dude, you gotta look at this. I just noticed this right now. Let me put this magnet in. Alrighty, so we got the line. So that one was facing this upper side. But yeah, if you look at the inside of your controller, you can't see it because of this rubber side, but you can see all of the cracks along the inside too.
Oh, good lord! It just fractured.
Yeah.
It's like spider webbing.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord. Gosh. The only thing holding it together is the rubber.
Yeah, basically. Right along there, yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see much of that at all.
That's why the rubber's there. They knew. They knew.
So yeah, this one does seem slightly different in certain places on here. Like it doesn't have the rubberized coating where the coating meets the controller. It has this little peg point when they do the fusion cast over it. Mm-hmm. So they place the plastic piece in there and then they cast this as an injection mold on top of it. And then they clip out these little portions right here. It doesn't have that on this controller. So we are noticing some little differences. It could be this is based on a different model, or this is just a different model from when this one is made. Especially because this is custom coloring as well.
Yeah, because like we did make that controller through like the Xbox Design Lab, whatever it is.
This was an Xbox Design Lab controller, yeah. I forget, I don't have to repeat what you're saying because you're mic'd up.
Right, yeah, I'm actually mic'd up now. Hello, Internet!
Alrighty. So that doesn't look like it's the right size. Let's see, is that the right size? Nope. Is that one the right size? Nope. Let's go find another size. Surpluses. I don't know. That's smaller or bigger? It's smaller. I need bigger. Too big. So already I've run into the issue where I don't have the right ones in this little multi-tool electric screwdriver combination. So thank you, cheap. I don't know if these are cheap. They're like two color too. They even have labels on them. Let's see what they are. Slightly less cheap. Chinese hand drill or hand screwdrivers. So that's the size. It'd be our T6. We're using to pull out these ones. should really get a magnet onto this bad boy here. Oh, how about a magnet for each of them? Give a little magnetizing power to our screws so we don't lose them as we transfer the insides of this case to this case here. Oh. The magnets, they're being naughty. Alrighty. So let's grab that screw. So I like to use a little magnet on there because then you don't have to like magnetize each tip. You can just pull it out. It has enough staying power. And then you can also just throw it to the back and keep moving forward without losing any of your screws. These are tech tips from TAKTEK. Tech tips from TAKTEK. Remember, always use magnets, kids. You may not know how they work, but just know they work. Alrighty, so there's the battery housing top, right? This is your connector for that bridges this connection and these. And here's your actual battery that we're pulling out. Alrighty, so this is our battery terminal here. That will go right here. If I can just get it in.
Phrasing?
Alrighty, and we have some more magnets here. Where these are, that's interesting. I wonder why there would be these magnets right here. I wonder if this is for the case too, when you put it in its charging case to align it properly. So we have the red dot on top here. Let's see if these are pressure fitted as well. No, these are actually adhesive. Alrighty. Alrighty, so that contact adhesive is basically screwed. So we're just gonna spudge it off of there. This spudger. If you want it done right, just use your own tool. Alrighty, so we got enough of it on there. We got the red dot on there, so we're just gonna actually magnetize it to that right there. And this was our left one. Okay. Can I bump some super glue?
Yes, sir.
just going to use a small amount here. Just really only need a drop. And then we're going to use the spudger to kind of position it where we need it to go. And then use your finger to kind of drop it into place here. And remember to keep the orientation. There, that should be enough to actually secure that, as the glue tends to spread pretty well. Then we're going to want to let that one dry for a moment before we do the other one. But we can actually pull out the other one while we're doing it. So as you can see, there's no dot on this side. So we're going to want to make sure and see if that's the case on the other side. So yes, we have the red dot on the other side, so we want to make sure that side is face down and we don't see it. So I feel like this spudger tool is not very useful at cleaning this gunk off. I would use some isopropyl to clean this off, but it will also wipe off the dot, and then I won't be able to see the orientation of the magnet in which they had it in. Again, only need a small dot. I'm going to use our spudger to place this. And there we go. Now we have both magnets in place. And then lastly, from the back side, we have to pull off these right here, as well as it seems the housing that it comes with too, which is concerning because it feels like the housing is fused right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So, but yeah, let's get to pulling these off. So it seems like it's a little bit bigger than the last one we used. No, actually. Alright. Actually, let's put the battery compartment back together now that we have the magnets here in place. So battery goes in the way you pulled it out. And that was a little tab of plastic we had. Right here in the deepest recesses of the battery cage. So as you can see, that goes in like that. You want these tabs to be facing upward, and as you can see, there's these lines right here that line up with these. So you're going to be pushing it downward like that, so that these tabs are sticking outward like that. And then those tabs mate with these pads right here. And then now we are putting this one in. As you can see, there's holes for this right here. And then that goes like that. And then now we have the case housing. Alrighty, and we're going to be putting these screws back. So realistically, I should just pull from my various bits here. One that'll actually work for me. So that one's good. Okay, I guess we need to go up in power for this one. Okay, that one was a little tough for some reason. So yeah, these ones have a really tough time going back into this one. Alrighty, that's secure, and then we have these two next. Okay, at some point they just top out. Can't get them to go in any further. And that should be about where we need it. And the last screw. Same thing on that one. But honestly, these things just kind of went out for this purpose. Alrighty, till it's snug, and we got everything all up in there. Perfect. And then now that we have the battery moved over, now we can focus on these components right here. As you can see, the cracks on this is very extensive. Probably just rip this part out if I wanted to. Okay, I know what this is now. Got you. This is the locking system for the triggers. Alrighty, we got this spring here, and we got this part of the casing that we have to transfer over. So this will I get you. The only reason I can replace that part on each side is because that's there. Got you. So I wonder if I can just get away with lifting this a little bit. Okay. So let's just go ahead and remove these completely. That was very close. Whew. clench harder than I usually do. So useful, this magnet. Alright, let's get that board. And I'm guessing, yeah, it's just digiting here. And then we got to put this here. So that's the full range of motion for that. Trying to be vigilant here. So something seems a little off there. So yeah, I feel like this wheel is like slightly in the way somehow. There we go. So you gotta be motion. If you don't, you're gonna only have half your motion. So if you're not under that clip, you're gonna start having problems. Alrighty, so let's get this one on here. And now we have that nice clickiness to it because it's tensioned. I'm guessing this also serves as an encoder on the bottom side here. So I'm going to put that out right now. Let's get our buttons in there. Little tiny buttons that I like to go everywhere. Spin that. There's that. And screws with that. All right, here. This one was a little too big, right? But we're going to use the driver. Alrighty, that's secure. Now we're going to pull off the other side again. Come on. There we go. Now let's pull this board off. We're going to try to keep the buttons in there. So now we're going to pull off the other side of the switch. Make sure to not lose the spring behind this screw. And then you can use the spudger. Kind of pull it out there. Just be careful, pull it out from under that little clip right there. Then you're gonna find the little clip from that side. You're gonna go under that clip and snap it into place. And you should have full movement. Double check that. Let's pull out one of these little hairs here. Alrighty, so we're gonna put the spring back and we're gonna put this on here. And we're gonna close that up. If it would let us. The spring has struck again. Let's get the screw in place. Alrighty. And there we go, now we have it catching. There we go. As usual.
And it's gone.
Did I clench hard enough? Oh, at least it's down there. So I failed the, what's it called? I don't know, failed the clench check. When you clench your thighs to make sure what you drop doesn't fall to the floor.
You're
but it did not bounce too far, so.
at least that.
So let's go put the buttons back. And we're going to take the, I guess realistically this is like an encoder plate. Put it back where it goes. So I find it's easier if you start with this center screw here and then do the outer screw. Alrighty. Make sure that plate doesn't wiggle too much. Alrighty, and that is the back side done. We have all of the parts converted over. And now this, well, this is trash. And see, the whole controller's not being thrown away. Only the worst part of the plastic is being thrown away. Alrighty, so we have the component side. We need to be removing the electronics out from under this. I don't know if we can just leave that on, because we'll be lifting the controllers out from the back side of it. But anyways. So some people like to unsolder these motors and then resolder them back on. I personally just leave them on. And kind of free float the electronics as much as I can. So you're going to take this top piece off here. Just be careful with it. Kind of like to snap like that. And then you have the bumpers. You're going to have to push down on these in order to release those. Or so I thought. Oh yeah, they have the individual hook on the end here. There you go. And then they hook on the other side. I wonder if I can spudge this out of place. And that one just really hooked up in there. Let's see if I can get between that and the clip. Let's hold that in place. There we go. Got it around the little clip that holds it in place. So we got the bumpers off. Now we're going to pull. We're keeping the inner housing plates. So we actually can leave these electronics alone. You can pull these to this plate off. So my concern is the differences in how these are like pressured onto there. I watched a video of a guy who essentially he heated them up for some reason, but we're gonna figure that out right now. So obviously we have the control knobs. Actually, my main curiosity is, so we're going to open up the McBazel Hall effect sensor potentiometers. Or I guess joysticks, because it's actually these individual parts that are the potentiometers. It's very nice and clean. The Hall effect ones generally have this blue and then kind of aquamarine colors to them. Let's see, what tools did they give us? So they gave us just a standard spudger tool, as well as the different sizes you need to access the controller. It doesn't really do anything about these, but I'm assuming that these are screwed on here because these have a threading at the base, and that's what makes these ones unique. So that's a little too flat. And that's where the triangle one goes. So those are wise anyway. My magnets are sticking to all my bits. So I guess we can go with something like this. So we can spin that. Okay, so obviously there's just, I'm saying like there's two positions. So What I'm curious about, so you have this housing piece, right? And that holds the housing. You can't spin it with the housing piece, so the housing piece doesn't spin. Yeah, that's interesting. So you can just spin these to unthread them. So just hold it slightly, give it a nice counterclockwise spin, and yeah, these spin right off. No adjustment screw needed. So does that mean they should have included pliers in this one? What if I can use the screw? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can use this to unscrew these off. So there you go. Ooh, and they're weighted too. Oh, that's what gives them that nice feeling. So I'm telling you, you can just spin this. You gotta actually like break the lock on the thread locker there. Just hold it slightly, break the lock, then use the thumbstick. You can just spin this off. There we go. Ooh. Alright, let's get rid of all of this gunk in here. Alright. So let's flip this around. So these love to just kind of like unhook from where they go. You can just tuck it right back in there. All right, and then we're going to be removing these two screws here to pull this board off. Actually, seems like it's a smaller one. manage to fully... Oh, there it is. That one's a little too small. So this one right here, which is our T6. Okay, got that one. Alrighty. Got this huge alignment pin right there. Alrighty, so we're gonna try to nestle this board out. So yeah, these alignment pins are insane. Alright, what do we got connected up to here? Alright, so yeah, that's connections to the motors up there. Those are the sounds of, yep, that falling out, and the keys. So we're just gonna undo the cable wiring for this part right here. Pull it out just to give us more space to work. So that goes around the buttons, and as you can see now it's around the outside there. And then we can do the same on the other side here. Just pull it out from the clip there. Right, pull it around the housing. And then now we have it around here, which gives us better access to our board. Alright. And then you're going to see these two connectors right there. We can go ahead and pull those off. They go right back on. So as you can see, they're kind of clipped right here. So you're just going to unclip it from right here. And then just go delicately behind it. And then pull it up through that terminal. All right, go behind it again, pull it up through that terminal. And there we go. Now we have that exposed. And go ahead, pull this up and over. So we're going to be going over, so this board flips over onto there like that. And then we're going to be working on the underside of this. So we're going to be flipping it over this way. And then as you can see, all of the terminals we need to work with are around here. Right? So we're going to be taking care not to affect any of these that are over here, and then not to affect this that's over here as well. So how we're going to be doing this is by essentially removing each potentiometer and then removing the full actual thing itself and then cleaning up the holes. So what we're going to want to do, so you can see this is why people like to unsolder the motors. We're going to raise this up a little bit. Alright, yeah, that's what these blocks are for. So I got these blocks right here. That's going to let us raise up the board so that we can isolate this part, and then we can push it out from the bottom. But it seems like we may need a little more height, just because this component is a little bit bigger. So I just like to use my rings, honestly. They make for really good insulators and support for this issue. I'm ready. So for this, I'm going to be flipping the board back this way. As you remember, it goes onto there this way. And then we're going to be separating these potentiometers away from this. So you can come in with the spudger tool, and you're going to just try to get in between this and this part, and then push that away like that, and then get between this part again, and you're going to push that away like that, and then do the same thing on this side. I'm going to push that away, and then on this side, push it away. There you go. We're going to flip over the board and we're going to re-support it again. Alrighty, so this is where your flux is going to be necessary. And you're going to need your soldering iron. So as you can see, I don't really use anything too pretty. We're going to be using this flux to make sure we have heat distributed here in order to pull off this part. Go ahead and take our brush. So this is a flux gel. I like using this for this application here because it's good at keeping all the heat proper between these components so that you can go ahead and remove them. So we're probably going to need a little bit more solder between these parts. So yeah, you're just going to spread that ball between these points here. Making sure to apply just a light amount of pressure downward. Let's get a little more flux on there. Alrighty, there's the encoder out. And then we're going to use some of this solder wick in order to clean up this area. No. Gross. So you're going to want to take the solder wick, you're going to want to put your iron above it, you're going to want to pull along these contact points in order to pull the solder out from the holes. You're going to want to have clean holes. Everybody likes a good clean hole. Alrighty, so we got the first encoder out. Now we're going to work on the second encoder. So So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to add some flux to the spot we are working on. And we're just going to add a little bit of solder to kind of give us a bit of room to work with. And then you're going to want to grab the encoder. You're going to want to work it from left to right. Alrighty, so that one came out cleanly. Alrighty, now we're going to clean up the area again. That's our motor depowering. It's going into our lower state of RPMs. Alrighty, so we're now looking this over the holes in order to get them nice and clean for the insertion of the new, I guess, encoder. Right there it would be a potentiometer, but the whole thing essentially would be like an encoder, I feel like. It's not the actual joystick. The joystick is the assembly name. The part name itself, I feel like, would be an encoder. Hall effect sensor encoder. Transcoder, because it's translating. I don't know. So as you can see, it's sometimes a little hard to get all of the solder out of these holes. Just got to keep trying. You're going to want to add a bit more flux to it, which will help it flow. But usually you can just dip that into your flux. Kind of just wick along there. Let's get some ISO on there, kind of clean that up a little bit. Cannot get these holes to open up, my dude. Actually, yeah, that would probably be better. So we're actually going to give it a little bit more solder. Even though that seems counterintuitive, allow us to hopefully pull the last remaining bit of solder out of those holes using our solder work. Hiya.
Hey Willow, are you ready for dinner? soon as the wet food gets involved, that's when she gets excited. Who can blame her? That's the good stuff. Come on. There we go. Gotta chop it up good for you, Willow. Pa. Come on. There you go. Alright, go ahead. Good girl.
Alrighty, and now we're going to take off the encoder itself, which is these 3-4 right there. completes that as well. And this thing as well. So we're just going to clip it there. And the other side is a little harder, but it's going to be right there. Okay, that's the housing. So we can go ahead and see. Now we got some pull on it. Okay. And then you're going to focus on these 4 pads over here. So you're going to add your flux to this area. And then we're going to take our tweezers. I'm going to find a good point to be able to push down from there. Right. We don't have very good leverage. Put that there. go. Alrighty, then we just have to clean up the board again. So I just want to remove all of this solder that we can from here.
Education, Line's commitment, is really unmatched and unparalleled when you compare it to any other company in the electronic industry.
With Little Caesar's new $5.99 mix and match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. 2 or more things, you're in charge. We'll make it large. Mix and match from Little Caesar's, only $5.99 each. Pizza, pizza.
Okay, well, tell them I say hello. Love you. Bye.
Welcome back.
Hi. William. 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 You know what to do. You just gotta do it. I know, it's so hard for me. It's so hard for me. It's so hard for you. Yeah, I know. It's so hard. Poor Willow. No, little piggy. Little piggy. Get that away. Okay. How y'all doing?
Doing alright, how about you?
Can't complain. They're getting their dollar. Happy to be home. A little hungry, a little tired, a little human.
Little human.
Right, little human? Little human? I'm gonna drink your water, piggy. I'm gonna drink your water, piggy. How are the no cappies?
I like them.
How's the sour water? Was it soury?
The sour watermelon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like the strawberry the best.
I think it tastes really good. The strawberry one was definitely my favorite.
Apple one was good too.
The apple one was good, but the strawberry was better.
Yeah, I think strawberry's the best flavor. But honestly, they're all, for what they are, I like that they still actually taste like soda. They're very flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
And no calories. It's just great. Are you guys recording audio?
Oh,
Yes.
we're on stream, yeah.
Hi, well, hi stream people.
Hi.
Don't mind me, just a pregnant wife.
So, yeah, I'm pretty hungry too. We'll discuss dinner soon. Anything I can do to help?
Help what? No, I just gotta move more things.
Alright.
You can have your chair.
No, go ahead. How was work?
It was good. A little stressy, a little busy. So much to do. I haven't touched anything from today. I haven't touched anything from the 9th. I haven't touched the 6th yet. I have 3 left from May 5th. Or March 5th. I'm almost there.
You're getting there.
There's so much.
Thanks, sir. I'm demiking.
Okay. If you guys want to decide on dinner, I can close up stream here for a moment.
Whenever you feel to.
I'm open to anything, honestly. It really doesn't matter what it is. I ate my protein today, so I'm not sure.
Alrighty, we're going to take a break here and we're going to resume back to this after we get some dinner. So thank you guys for joining us and have a good one.
Sandwiches, burgers, pizza, tacos.
Shameless YouTube plug here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe and ring the bell.